I knew that officers passed away in the line of duty, but that was like the first big one that really hit me personally. And that's when I started to realize that my dad isn't really safe in his job anymore, and people are starting to like purposely go out there and hurt people like my dad.
I do not know you, but I am your brother.
You do not know me, but I am your protector.
I will run into a burning building to save your life.
Though I do not know your name, I will take a bullet for you.
Though we've never met,
I believe in duty and sacrifice
of self.
Your family is my family.
Is my family. Your life is my duty.
What's going on, guys? Time for a very special episode of Behind the Uniforms. It's not often that we have a 15-year-old here at the Whiskey Wall, so we will not be drinking today. But before I introduce Megan and her incredible cause, I want to give those of you who have never seen this before a little overview. Typically, we invite first responders and veterans onto the show, active, retired. They bring a bottle of whiskey for the Whiskey Wall. They share a story about a good day and about a bad day, just to showcase the men and women behind the uniforms, that they're just like you and I. They want to go home to their families at the end of the day. We always keep a bottle and an empty glass here at the Whiskey Wall as a tribute to the men and women who will never be able to tell their stories because they paid the ultimate sacrifice. Today we are talking about officers who paid the ultimate sacrifice and an incredible young lady who does some incredible good. So first of all, why don't you introduce yourself and everybody else here at the table?
I'm Megan O'Grady. I'm 15 years old, and I started a nonprofit called Blue Line Bears, and I make teddy bears out of the uniform shirts of fallen police officers. And I'm here with my dad, my mom, and my grandma.
Awesome. So Dad was just on an episode of Behind the Uniforms that'll be dropping soon. Why don't you first tell everybody, why don't we start with this bear? Who's it a tribute to?
Chief DeSario from Ohio Police Department.
And this was his shirt.
Yes.
Why do you do what you do?
After the attack on Dallas, where the 5 officers were killed, that was probably, like, I knew that officers passed away in the line of duty, but that was like the first big one that really hit me personally. And that's when I started to realize that my dad isn't really safe in his job anymore, and people are starting to like purposely go out there and hurt people like my dad. And so I had to write an essay for school, and I decided to talk about how I had to talk about something that I believe in. And so I decided to talk about how I believe in law enforcement and everything that they stand for. And then I just kind of, I don't know how, but I just kind of evolved it into this.
Now, this chief had kids of his own, right?
Yes, he had 6 kids.
When you get these shirts, how does the whole process work, first of all?
So it works one of 2 ways in the beginning. Either the family or friend will come to us and ask us to make bears, and then they send us the shirts. Or if the officer dies in line of duty and they don't come to us, we'll ask the police department, we'll email them a note, and sometimes my dad will call them and we'll see if we can get a shirt. And of course they'll say yes or no, and like it just depends on the department and the family. But so we get the shirts in, we kind of just like line them up and cut them out, and we cut the shirt into these different pieces, and then we sew them together, then stuff them, and then we do an embroidery where we put the name and number of the officer on the stomach, and then on one of the feet it has the end of watch date, and then on the paw it has the name of who it's going to, and then we put a St. Michael's medal on it, and it's blessed by a priest, and then it's given to the family.
Megan, this is incredible. I mean, this is, first of all, it's an incredible amount of work. It must take you a couple of days to make one of these.
Yeah. It kind of like, we kind of do them in assembly lines depending on how many shirts come in at once. So it's kind of like an assembly line thing, but if we had to guess, it'd probably take like 2-3 days to make a bear.
Well, and when you scale that out, last year there were some 150 officers killed in the line of duty. Now, not necessarily every single one you'd be making a bear for, but that's an incredible amount of work. Mom, Dad, Grandma, holy cow. I mean, first of all, it's great seeing parents who have done such an incredible job of raising their kids. You guys should be super, super honored. When she came to you with this, well, first of all, as a police officer, what was your reaction?
I was shocked because, I mean, you know,
going beyond your family and trying to help other families go through their darkest time, that's pretty amazing.
Mom, Grandma?
Well, we're obviously very proud. We weren't sure exactly how it was going to go. Didn't realize it was going to get quite as big as it's gotten. I think we counted up the other day, we're up to, well, including ones that still have to be made into bears, almost 290
Wow.
since last January. So it's kind of transformed our lives as a family, but it's been really great to see her try to do something so positive.
Grandma?
So.
You must be insanely proud.
I am very proud of her, yeah. She works very hard to do this. She works very hard at school, and we're just really proud of her.
290. I mean, that number is staggering for so many reasons. One, obviously, the amount of work that it's taken, and this is really a labor of love that you've put into this, but that is a lot of police officers. That is a lot of kids who have lost their moms and dads. And when you look back at all of that work and you look at the time spent on it, what message do you want people to take away from all of this?
You mean the families or just people looking on?
Anybody.
Well, I want the families to know that there's someone there for them, and that it's not only, like, it's the entire community is mourning with them, and they're not alone. And I want them to have some comfort in having a bear. And to the community, I kind of want them to know that, like, take a stance against something. Like, if you don't believe in something, take a stance against it, and don't just complain about it, do something about it.
When you, how has this project changed how you look at your dad?
My entire life, I grew up, like, around police officers, and, like, on Christmas and stuff, I'd make them cookies and send them in. And, so I've always looked up to my dad, but, this is, I don't know, it's kind of, like, strengthened that feeling of respect for the, for officers, not only the fallen, but just all in general.
How can people learn more?
Learn more?
Yep.
Oh, sorry. I misinterpreted that.
Sorry.
It's okay. We have a Facebook page, Blue Line Bears, and then also our website, which is just www.bluelinebears.org.
We will link that up. Guys, if you could take 2 seconds to hit the share button and to go like her page on Facebook, that would be tremendous, especially what a labor of love this is. So thank you so much for what you're doing. Guys, thank you all for sharing this video. Mom, Dad, Grandma, spectacular job. I think that there are a lot of parents out there who are going to be looking up to you to see what an incredible job you did with your kids.
Thank you very much.
Guys, thank you for sharing. Thanks for watching. God bless America.